Impressive work, James Marcus said, scrolling through my presentation. This security system could revolutionize corporate network protection. I nodded, masking my pride. 2 years of relentless development had led to this moment. Thank you, sir. The neural network's ability to detect and adapt to cyber threats is entirely unique. We could patent this within months. My name is James Chen, and at 32, I had created something that could redefine cybersecurity, an AI system that learned and evolved faster than any hacker, shielding networks in real time without human intervention. Marcus leaned back in his leather chair. The board meeting is next week. I want all documentation, every line of code, every test result. Something in his tone made me pause. 5 years at Tech Shield Industries had taught me how to read my boss. Something was off. Of course, I said cautiously, though I should be there to explain the technical details. That won't be necessary, he cut in smoothly. I understand it well enough to present it myself. Of course he did. Lately, Marcus had been claiming credit for my work, small things at first, a feature here, an innovation there, but this was my life's work. That evening, as I prepared the files, a message from Sarah in HR popped up. Emergency meeting tomorrow, 9 a.m., mandatory. I sat back, my mind racing. Marcus wouldn't dare, would he? The next morning, I entered the conference room to find Marcus, Sarah, and 2 security guards waiting. James, Marcus began, his smirk barely hidden. We've uncovered some concerning behavior, unauthorized use of company resources, personal projects on company time. I stayed silent, letting him spring his trap. Additionally, he continued, you violated your contract by developing competing technology while employed here. All your work belongs to Tech Shield, effective immediately. We'll be taking control of the project. You mean you'll be taking control? I said quietly. His smile widened. Pack your things. Security will escort you out. Through the glass, I saw him already rehearsing his board presentation. He thought he had won, thought he had stolen 2 years of my work, with a few manufactured accusations. What he didn't know was that I had seen this coming months ago. The AI had a hidden feature, one I never documented, a specialized subroutine buried deep in its neural pathways, set to activate exactly 30 days after deployment. That night, in my apartment, I logged into the hidden backup server I'd been maintaining. Every conversation with Marcus, every stolen idea, every manipulated report, more importantly, every change he made to my code after taking it. My phone buzzed. A message from Tom in IT. He's already modifying the base code, trying to make it look like his work, just like you said he would. I smiled. Marcus was so eager to erase my fingerprints from the project that he didn't realize he was arming the trigger. In 30 days, when the system went live before the board, it would do exactly what it was designed to do, expose every security threat to the company, including the one sitting in the CEO's office. Over the next few weeks, I watched from afar as Marcus prepared to unveil his groundbreaking AI. Tom kept me updated on every change, every misguided attempt to rewrite my work. He's completely overhauling the documentation, Tom messaged one evening, removing all traces of your name, but he doesn't understand half the architecture, he's making mistakes. Perfect. Every revision Marcus made only reinforced the hidden protocol buried deep in the system. Like a digital immune response, it was programmed to recognize its original creator. 20 days after my firing, I received an unexpected visitor. Sarah from HR stood at my apartment door, looking uneasy. James, she said in a rush, glancing over her shoulder, I need to tell you something about Marcus. I let her in, sensing something important. Sarah had always been Marcus's loyal follower, executing his commands without hesitation. He's done this before, she said, sitting down on the edge of my couch. At his last company, stole a major project, fired the developer. The guy tried to sue, but she hesitated. The evidence disappeared, just like your personnel files are disappearing now. I kept my expression neutral. Why are you telling me this? Because it's wrong, she said firmly, and because I found something when I was archiving your files. She pulled out a thumb drive. Original project proposals from 2 years ago, your proposals, with timestamps and signatures. Marcus must have missed these. I took the drive, knowing it would fit perfectly with the evidence I'd been gathering. Thank you, Sarah, but aren't you worried about your job? She stood up, adjusting her blazer. Some things are more important than jobs, James, she smiled slightly. Besides, I already have interviews lined up. What Marcus is doing, it's not just wrong, it's illegal. After she left, I checked my hidden server. 10 days until activation. Marcus had scheduled the board presentation for exactly 30 days after my firing, eager to stake his claim on the project as quickly as possible. My phone buzzed. Tom again. You need to see this. He's trying to patch in new security protocols, making a mess of the core functions. I logged in remotely through a secure connection Tom had maintained. There it was, Marcus, clumsily trying to modify the AI's fundamental architecture, attempting to make it look like his own work. Every sloppy change introduced new vulnerabilities, fresh gaps in the system. Gaps that would be exposed when the hidden protocol activated. 7 days before the presentation. Another unexpected message, this time from Marcus himself. James, upon review, perhaps we were hasty in terminating your position. Would you be interested in discussing a consulting role? Limited scope, of course. Marcus was nervous. The system wasn't behaving as he expected. His changes were causing unpredictable results, and he couldn't understand why. I didn't respond. 3 days before the board meeting. Marcus tried again, this time offering a generous compensation package in exchange for my technical insights. Still, I waited. The day before the presentation, Tom sent me the final confirmation. Everything's in place. Marcus has scheduled a company-wide system update for tomorrow morning. The entire board will be watching the live demonstration. I smiled, marveling at the simplicity of it all. Marcus had spent weeks trying to erase me from my own creation, not realizing every modification he made only reinforced its core purpose, to identify and expose security threats. And tomorrow, in front of the board, the system would reveal its greatest threat. Thanks, Tom, I replied. Make sure you're recording tomorrow, every screen, every reaction. Then I sat back and waited for the show to begin. The morning of the board presentation. I sat in a coffee shop across from TechShield's headquarters, watching through the live feed Tom had set up. The boardroom was packed, executives, investors, and tech journalists all gathered to witness Marcus's revolutionary breakthrough. Ladies and gentlemen, Marcus began, standing proudly at the podium. Today, we unveil the future of cybersecurity, an AI system that can detect and neutralize threats in real time. I checked my watch. 3 minutes until the system update went live. This technology, which I have developed over the past 2 years, Marcus continued, represents a quantum leap in network protection. Allow me to demonstrate. Tom's message popped up. Update initiating. You should see his face on screen. Marcus clicked to start the demonstration. The massive display behind him flickered to life, showing the AI's interface. Everything looked normal. Exactly as he expected. Then the system spoke. Initiating security protocol, the AI's voice announced. Detecting unauthorized modifications to core architecture. Marcus's smile faltered. This wasn't part of his script. Warning, the AI continued. Multiple security vulnerabilities detected. Source, recent unauthorized changes to base code by user Marcus Wheeler. The color drained from Marcus's face as he frantically clicked through screens, trying to shut it down, but every click only triggered more revelations. The display shifted, showing side-by-side comparisons, my original, precise code versus Marcus's clumsy modifications, timestamps of his changes, recorded meetings where he had taken credit for my work, emails outlining his plan to fire me. What you're seeing, the AI explained to the stunned audience, is a comprehensive security audit. My primary function is to identify and expose threats to system integrity. The biggest threat detected, systematic theft of intellectual property by Marcus Wheeler. Sarah's documented evidence appeared next, proof of Marcus's history of stealing others' work. Then came the original project proposal, my name stamped at the top. Turn it off, Marcus shouted. But the system had locked him out. He was the security threat. One of the board members stood up. Mr. Wheeler, what is the meaning of this? It's a trick, Marcus stammered, a disgruntled ex-employee. Actually, Tom's voice came from the doorway as he walked in, holding a stack of papers. It's exactly what the AI is designed to do, protect intellectual property and expose security threats. James Chen built this system. These are the original development logs proving his ownership. The boardroom erupted into chaos. Journalists scribbled notes. Investors whispered urgently. And Marcus? He looked like a man watching his world burn. My phone buzzed. A message from the board chairman. Mr. Chen, this is Charles Montgomery. Would you be willing to meet to discuss your AI system? the real one, not the compromised version Mr. Wheeler attempted to present. I smiled as I typed back. Of course, though you should know, what you saw today was the real system, working exactly as designed. It protects against all security threats, including corporate espionage. Within hours, Marcus was escorted out of the building. By evening, news of the scandal had hit the tech blogs. AI exposes corporate theft during live demo, read the headlines. 1 week later, I sat across from the board of directors, laying out my true vision for the AI system. They listened intently, especially when I explained its ethical protocols, not just protecting networks, but ensuring corporate transparency and accountability. We'd like to offer you a position, Charles said after my presentation, Chief Technology Officer, with full control over your AI's development, and, of course, complete patent rights under your name. I accepted, with one condition. Tom would lead my development team, and Sarah, she would head a new corporate ethics division. As for Marcus, last I heard, he was facing multiple lawsuits, including from his previous employers, where he had pulled similar stunts. The AI hadn't just exposed his theft of my work, it had uncovered a pattern of intellectual property theft spanning years. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't about destruction, it's about letting the truth reveal itself, at exactly the right moment. Now, when I walk past my old office, Marcus's former office, and my new one, I think about something my father used to say. Intelligence without integrity is a weapon pointed in the wrong direction. Marcus thought he was stealing a weapon. Instead, he armed it against himself. Today, my AI system is an industry standard, protecting companies not just from external threats, but from the ones hiding within. And every time it stops another act of corporate theft, I think back to that board meeting, to Marcus's face when he realized the truth. He had spent so much time trying to erase me from my own creation, never realizing my real signature wasn't in the documentation or the code comments. It was embedded in the system itself. Because the best security doesn't just protect data. It protects what's right.